Hi there. Hit the White Part by Massad Ayoob. Yet another book by Mass, which we have reviewed his previous books. Rich Davis had a pizza business in Detroit, and one night he got a call to deliver some pizzas, and when he turned up, he was confronted by armed robbers, and he was carrying a pistol. Wasn't a very good pistol, and he managed to get rounds into two of them. Unfortunately, he was in a gunfight with three, and the third guy shot him. Fortunately, not seriously. While he was recovering in hospital, he thought that there must be a better way than just relying on the fact that you can put down fire, that the chance of being hit in a gunfight is always there. So he started thinking about body armor. A lot of the armor at the time was hard external armor, etc., or made of quite stiff materials. Anyway, he came up with using DuPont Kevlar, which is an aramid designed to replace the steel binding in tires. Very, very strong, yet very light. And he started producing vests made of that. And the first police officer to buy one, as far as I can find out, was Evan Marshall, my old friend. And some of his colleagues in the Detroit Police Department were skeptical, and that continued for many years. But one guy did actually think the idea was good, got himself a vest, and lo and behold, became the first guy to be saved by second chance, or by soft concealable body armor, because it was the only one available at the time. There was a lot of misinformation about blunt force trauma. The theory was that, yeah, the Kevlar stops the bullet from penetrating, but there was a shock transmitted to your body which could damage vital organs, probably or perhaps fatally. So this resulted in a few people being, or a lot of people being skeptical about the use of the Kevlar vests. So what Rick Davis decided to do was to put his money where his mouth is, in a way, in a very spectacular way, and shoot himself on film while wearing the vest. He reasoned he couldn't ask someone else to shoot him in case it all went wrong and they'd be liable. So he went to a dump, and he put up a bench, a table, and he had a block of duck seal, which a lot of people were using to test ammo, and then some bowling pins that were just lying around he put up. And he put the vest on outside his clothes so you could see it. He devised a particular way of holding a revolver that you could shoot yourself. So he started off with the film continuously rolling, shooting the duck seal so you could see it was... he spun the cylinder so you knew it wasn't a setup. Shot the duck seal, turned the weapon on himself, shot himself, and then instantly shot these bowling pins off the table. So what it demonstrated was that the blunt force trauma didn't incapacitate you. You could still shoot return fire accurately. That was the whole thing. Later on, the results started pouring in, and Rick Davis, or his company Second Chance, started getting the survivors together and making videos. And I've still got a couple of them where they reenacted what happened to them. I actually met a couple of the survivors myself at various training conferences, most notably John Solheim from Washington State, who took a full 357 to the chest, which his second chance armor defeated, returned fire, emptied a cylinder 41 Magnum into the guy, had to reload, put another cylinder into him, and then it still took him, his police dog, and a passing soldier to get the handcuffs on the guy. So that was quite an incident. But it all started with him surviving the initial surprise gunshot to his chest. So Second Chance became the leader in soft concealable body armour, and Rick Davis decided to put on an event mainly for police officers, and he came up with the idea of a shooting match. He didn't want to do any of the ones that were already in existence, such as IPSC or whatever. He wanted something original, and his mind went back to the bowling pins, and he came up with the idea of having a match where you shot bowling pins off a table. Now, the thing about it is bowling pins are roughly the size, well, they're almost exactly the size and shape of the kill zone on an FBIQ target. So you got the accuracy. It was done against the clock, so you had the speed, and then the power came from the fact you had to knock the pin right off the table. I think it was a 3-foot wide table. Excuse me. And sometimes they would fall and you had to hit them head on or base on. Sometimes they'd spin round, etc. So sometimes the one shot would do it, and sometimes a whole cylinder wouldn't. So it was there was a factor of randomness in it, which occurs in real life. Anyway, the book Hit the White Part by Massad Ayoob goes into all that, into the history, the background and so on, and then gives you the different courses of fire in the pin shoots. Lots of photographs. There's Mass himself competing. He competed very, very enthusiastically in the events. They also had, you can see the team events, partners or four-man teams, Rolling Thunder, where you had shotguns and pistols and so on. I have shot pins informally. At one of the ranges we used, there was some lying around, and I shot them. Found it a lot of fun. In America particularly, where 10-pin bowling is very, very popular, you can get second-hand pins for nothing. They're waste products, so it was easy to put those matches on. But they, as I say, it's a lot of fun, and it's a really good test of accuracy, speed and power. Unfortunately, they seem to have waned a bit now, and people aren't shooting them in formal competitions quite so much. But the book still has got very interesting information about tracking across a line, about the fact, because they are reactive targets and your attention is drawn to the fact that the pin is dropping and what that does to your sight focus and so on. All written in Massad's usual way. The matches were originally for, or the priority was given to law enforcement, cops, so it became a bit of a choir practice over a weekend in a resort area of Michigan, and everyone had a lot of fun. And it was a unique prize table as well. There was lots of prizes, you know, rifles, pistols, leatherwork, obviously second chance products, gold belt buckles, all sorts of things that were given by sponsors, and the winner got the first pick. So you had to know sort of what was valuable. So really good weekend of shooting. I never went to it. I did meet Rick Davis at an event once, and found him an interesting character. But the book is still well worth reading.